Folks, the BBC has a story out that is pure gold for anyone who still has a functioning brain. The title: Spain attacks selfish response of some EU countries to Cuba military, Cuba migrant crossings. Freudian slip there, folks. I'm sorry. Uh, Spain's socialist prime minister, Pedro Sanchez, the hero of tens of thousands of North African military aged males, is pearl clutching, calling the reaction of some European countries selfish, polarizing, and unlawful. Uh, all this after about 60,000 people, mostly military aged males, poured into the Spanish enclave of Ceuta from Morocco in a matter of days. Uh, Italy, under Giorgia Meloni, temporarily suspended relaxed border control regimes with Spain. Finland, Denmark, the Czechs, and a whole bunch of others said enough. 22 EU countries signed a letter demanding emergency talks. They've had it with the open border nonsense. And Spain's response: how dare you protect your own borders and your own people? We're the ones being invaded, and you're the selfish ones for not pretending this is more diversity enrichment. That's classic, isn't it? Now, Cuba is a Spanish territory, folks. It's Europe's southern door. Pretend the Mediterranean is the large intestine, and the Straits of Gibraltar would be well, Spain is the left cheek and Cuba is the right cheek. On the same, well, you get it. When tens of thousands storm it in a weekend, the responsible reaction is not to roll out the welcome mat and lecture everyone else about solidarity. It's to slam the door shut and send them back, which, to Spain's credit, and with Morocco's help, most of them eventually were. But the damage is done in the messaging. Now, let's put some historical perspective on this, because the left and the media never will. The Great Mosque of Cordoba, the Mezquita, was built over the Visigothic Christian Basilica of St. Vincent. Now, that happened after the Muslim conquest of Iberia. The initial invading force under Tariq Ziyad in 711 was about 7,000 men. 7,000. They crossed, they fought, they took the peninsula, and Christian Spain spent the next 7 centuries reclaiming it in the Reconquista. This past weekend, roughly 10 times that number came through into Cuba. 60,000. Not an army with swords this time, but a significant majority are military-aged men, and the scale is not subtle. History doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. And the rhyme here is loud. For scope, folks, the Biden-Harris administration let into our southern flank some reports of 100 to 400 times that number in their 4 years of auto pens and dementia. Spain used to understand what it meant when large numbers of North Africans arrived uninvited on their soil. Apparently, some in Madrid have forgotten, or they're too busy signaling virtue to the rest of the EU. The countries that push back, Italy, the Nordics, Central Europe, they're not the villains. They're the ones who looked at the videos, looked at the numbers, remembered 2015 and said, no, thank you. Spain is discovering what happens when you treat border control as optional and then get offended when your neighbors refuse to share the consequences. Sanchez can cry selfish all he wants. Reality is not selfish. Reality is what happens when you ignore the lessons of your own history. The Visigoths found that out the hard way. Europe doesn't have to. That's the story the BBC is spinning as Spain being the aggrieved party. Don't buy it. The people who still believe nations have a right and a duty to control who enters are the ones acting with common sense. The rest is just political theater. This is where we are today in America. We'll be back, and we hope you will too.